Hi everyone, welcome to Astro Secrets Guruji. It's been over a year since I made videos in English. I have been making a lot of Hindi videos. For some time now, I'll focus on English videos as well so that some of the audience which is not able to understand Hindi would be able to kind of understand a bit about it. Just to recap, what you see here is two different types of charts. One is a North Indian chart or a style in which we make Kundli and then analyze it, and then you have a South Indian chart as well. The basic difference between the two is in North Indian astrology, we have the houses fixed, right? So you have this chart here, the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th house, right? But the basic difference between North and South Indian astrology, in South Indian astrology, you have the signs fixed. So houses will vary. So ascendant is basically the first house here in North Indian astrology, and basis the ascendant sign, the rest of the signs will kind of change, right? So what we have is basic is we denote the signs with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 12, but when it comes to houses we are denoting in Roman letters. The difference you will see here is basically the signs are fixed. So 1 is written here, 2 is written here, 3 is written here, 4 is written here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, right? And the houses will vary. So if let's suppose ascendant is Cancer, right? In this particular case, this is how you will start counting the houses. This is your first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th and 12th houses, right? That's the basic difference. But when it comes to Kundli analysis, you would be able to factor in the rules that are there, the secrets which are there, and you're able to decipher how the Kundli is kind of looking and what are the results going to look like. Few more things to kind of recap. We can talk a little bit about planets. Maybe let me just put it in a different color so we can talk a little bit about planets. Yeah. So and then just a difference between Vedic astrology and Western astrology. In Vedic astrology, what we have as a focus is moon, right? In Western astrology, we have the focus as sun. Why in Vedic astrology we have focus on moon is basically moon is a filter. Sun is basically sun represents soul, but we cannot realize soul directly. So how do we go on that? How do we identify our spiritual identity? And that is through the power of the moon. The light that gets reflected from the sun is something that gets observed into moon, and that is the rationale basically. Now when it comes to different planets, there are malefic planets and benefic planets. It depends. In Vedic astrology there is a lot of focus on, is it a malefic planet? So if there are two malefic planets and there is a benefic sitting in between, then it becomes troublesome for the benefic to give good results. Similarly, if there are two benefic planets sitting and then you have a malefic in between, the results for malefic planet are also going to be positive. So now what we mean by basic benefic planets by nature, which planets are benefic basically. So we have Venus as a benefic planet, we have Jupiter as a benefic planet, right? Uh, when it comes to moon, there are two ways to decipher it, and that is like one we call it waxing moon and waning moon. How do you figure it out? So waxing, as you know, how do you denote it? So you have moon like this, there is light on this side, shadow on this side, and then this keeps on increasing, and then what we have is something like this. So there is light here, and that keeps on increasing. But how do you decipher that in a Kundli chart? So you have sun here, let's suppose, and if moon is placed here, then it's a waxing moon, and therefore there are going to be positive elements to it till the point of, let's say, 180 degrees. How do you see it and how do you decipher it? Basically, people count it 6 to 7 houses, but in degrees terms, it's around 180 degrees. What about waning moon? It's on the negative side, right? So the results are not going to be positive, or are basically not that positive. There are other factors also you would have to see. So if sun is placed here and then moon is placed in eighth house again, there are negative elements to it. So moon is placed in ninth house, 10th, 11th, 12th, right? Then it becomes a waning moon. So you have basic benefic is Venus, Jupiter. You have waxing moon as a benefic, and then when it becomes a waning moon, it kind of becomes a bit malefic, right? That is how you can imagine it. When it comes to Mars and Saturn are basically malefic in nature. Basic element to it, basic nature of Mars and Saturn. And Sun basically is malefic, but since Sun plays a major role in a Kundli, it's kind of a mildly malefic planet, not a full malefic planet like Mars and Saturn. So that is how you kind of differentiate. Mercury is, when it is associated with a benefic planet, that is where you would see positive attributes to it. So it's more around Mercury is sitting with which planet, right? If it is sitting with Jupiter, then there are positive elements to it. If it is sitting with Venus, then positive elements to it. But if it is sitting with Mars or Saturn, then it will reflect their qualities. Yeah. So that is how kind of you can imagine it. Rahu and Ketu, by nature, they are basically powerful malefics. Yeah. So hope that is clear. Just to recap, Jupiter, Venus, benefic, Moon, two parts to it. If it is waxing, then benefic. If it is waning, then malefic, right? Sun is mildly malefic. Why? Because sun plays a major role and there are a lot more elements to it. Sun represents the soul. When it comes to Mercury, it depends on which planet it sits with. Mars and Saturn are powerful malefics. Rahu and Ketu are extremely powerful malefics. Yeah. Hope that is clear. We'll talk about planets' gender as well a little bit. Now, Sun, Mars, Jupiter are considered masculine. Okay. Moon and Venus are considered feminine, while Mercury and Saturn are considered neutral in nature. Now, why I'm talking about this is because it depends on the planet sitting in which sign and then what is their nature, and that is how the results are deciphered. Now, male planets are considered stronger when they are in odd signs. Also during the fortnight of the waxing moon and during the daytime. However, female planets are considered strong when in even signs. Hope it is clear. Now, I will have another video where we'll talk about each planet in detail. We'll try to understand. There was another video that I had made, but we'll try to go a bit deeper, understand each planet's attribute and what they represent, in which sign they would kind of bring the best. You would be able to see certain elements listed here as well, and we'll talk about these points in coming videos. Thank you very much for watching. Stay connected.